Where next, Master Silverstar?
Well, I think we need a few grenades.
Okay, gun store it is.
Yep, that's fine.
If they're basic kind of grenades, he's got them in stock. If they're anything with a specialized name, then you'll have to roll to see if he has them. But if you're just looking for your basic
also,
frag or stun grenade, he's got them.
And if I have to draw things as an incidental, like Worram's belt, where would I get something similar to that?
So at the gun store, you can buy those pouches that you can affix to your clothing that will allow you to incidentally draw an item.
Cool.
Off the bat, they only hold a silhouette 0 or like an encumbrance 0 item, and grenades are not encumbrance 0, but you can modify them to hold an encumbrance 1 item, which grenades or other things are, basically. So they're small pouches, and then you can widen. Yeah, man, you got to look at those ability notes. They got one modification. You can make them bigger, and then stuff grenades in them instead.
Okay.
That's how, Worram, that's how you carry 25 grenades. You wear a belt with 25 of those pouches, and now you're carrying weightless grenades.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can get all of that stuff at the gun store. You use the find option, but otherwise it's just all in like alphabetical order by category, by tab.
Well, what
kind of thing are you looking for?
Let me tell you my concept, and maybe you can tell me if there's an easier way to go about this. So one thing that Stomper would like to find in the weapons shop, not necessarily the droid, I guess maybe the droid's shop would have been a better place to look, is I'd like to replace his manipulator arm with the wrist and hand of a B2 battle droid, complete with wrist rocket.
With like an actual arm? Oh, okay.
So that way he can manipulate, but also wrist rocket it.
All right, so you're going to have to buy an artificial, like a cybernetic arm for him so that he now has an arm. The arm would have an integrated weapons system that is giving it a micro rocket, basically, and that is the closest thing to what that would be. Is it would be a cybernetic arm with an integrated weapon system that fires micro rockets, and that's how you get a B2's wrist rocket arm. Yeah, exactly. So that's how you would get
I don't want him to have an arm, necessarily. Maybe just like... Because assuming there's a hatch that opens where the manipulator comes out of, maybe below that we could just, like, the hatch also has a rocket that deploys, you know?
Yeah, that's fine.
But I want him to have some sort of a weapons package.
So the way it works is you buy... You spend the money to buy the weapon...
Sure.
And then any gear he has for the same amount of cost can be bought as an installed thing instead of something that he's holding. So you buy the rocket mount and then it's installed into him, you know, for the same cost.
This is the plan that I have.
Dan might have a different way to get at what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna get the mini rocket and hardwire that into his chassis somewhere. I think would be the simplest way to go about it. But what I was gonna say is my plan for the whole dead stormtrooper thing is on our way back. We should swing by the ruined detective agency. I have a holographic costume that Stomper is actually carrying on him because I used him for storage. We could just go over to where the dead stormtrooper is, slap the costume on him. We know he's going to be found in the sweep, and we can't hide him. But when they find him, he can be dressed like a New Republic spy. And then they're not going to be like, well, damn that Gungan. They're going to be like, well, damn this spy. And then it's going to send them down a whole goose chase, and then the suspicion won't be on us anymore, kind of thing. Just to further muddy their investigation when they find him, he's wearing like rebel fatigues or something.
Like the other two troopers would still have seen you.
Yeah, but now they're going to be held as in suspicion of like why did you mention this kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, we could just like try and disguise him and then just like sneak him out or something, maybe. Or
the holographic costume features easy computers check to record new garment, daunting computers check to record facsimile of garment. Okay, so we could dress him up like a drunk Sauvax or something, and that we're helping like weekend at Bernie's him to the pub.
Just like put it on him until we can come back and like. Or like we'd even like basically put the holographic disguise on him, put him in the passenger seat of the vehicle, and like drive him back in under their noses, kind of thing.
There you go.
And then like could get rid of it later or something. But
we're just returning past the courtyard full of training stormtroopers who just got him nothing to see here. Ignore this.
But it would look like somebody else. That's the thing. Like,
well, no, exactly. Like, oh yeah, no. What's his name? Kolvar. Kolvar had too much to drink, and we're carrying him back to his office. Like, he's wearing the administrator's
Kolvar
robes.
went down to Birdie's last night. And, man,
you know what? We could dress him like Narset Jinn.
Oh, that's true.
Because she's not with us, and we've been seen with a Jedi, like a Dathomiri female. So if we dress up this corpse like Narset and like carry her in, be like, oh, she's fine. Don't worry about it. Really, it's just a guy that I murdered.
Why would you dress them up as me again?
Well,
because we're trying to sneak them back in
you're
without
a
them
known
seeing that we have a stormtrooper.
So it wouldn't be weird that you're like hanging out with us.
That's right.
It would raise less eyebrows than if anyone else was like somehow with us in that moment.
We just like show up with somebody else. Yeah.
Thing is, it's a holographic costume, which means it doesn't change your whole body. It just changes your attire.
Your appearance, yeah.
So,
and it can be.
But he was shot in the face, so who's to say he has a face anymore? You know. Yeah, we need to get Stomper that weapons package. Okay, so
another reason. Yeah.
Currently, we're standing where?
Out in the city, like the.
Right, but like in front of which one of them? Which one did we just walk out of?
You have come out of the healer and are heading across towards the droid shop. N4 having been reassuaged by Stomper that she'll be safe here. She is still glancing nervously at the bodiless limbs hanging in the window like a mechanic's butcher's shop. Stomper hoots at the gonk standing by the droid, but the unit is frozen up and doesn't respond at all. Inside is a Latero, the pilot from Solo, a furry four-armed blue alien.
Yeah. No, it's a Ardinian.
Ardinian? What's a Latero?
I don't know, but he invites them to a Minoc roast back home on Ardinia, so I know he's an Ardinian. We're talking about the blue furry four-armed guy.
Latero. A Latero is
Fallen Order.
Grease. Is Grease.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, he's also a four-armed pilot. Yeah. Okay. And he's the only member. That's why I got my four-armed pilots mixed up. That's why. So there's an Ardinian, a blue-furred Ardinian, wearing overalls, stuffed with tools, is standing at the back of the shop. Inside, there are a trio of powered-down protocol droids along one wall, all missing their chest plates, with pieces of their internals removed. Scrap droids being used to keep Birdie's server on his feet over the years. There are several more power droids inside along the other wall, and they let out a chorus of low gonks in greeting to Stomper as he comes in. These, like he, are cast-offs from the gasworks and the factory at the top of the volcano that can't hold a charge long enough for industrial work any longer, but which are still plenty useful down here in Fishtown. Worram gets a greeting from the shopkeep, who asks if he's in for a tune-up for his arm, or if it's something for Zeef instead. Then he notices N4 and says, "You stole a server from the casino? Worram, I always thought you were the same one compared to Zeef."
Not to worry there. My companion is in the good graces of the...
He nods, and then a grin spreads across his face and says, "Excellent. I've been trying to get my foot in the door there for, well, years. If they'd let me service those bots, man, I could really keep this place afloat better than I have been."
Say that Worram just kind of talks shop a little bit with the guy while
Xavix is able to look around.
Have to want to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a few specific items, but we're in the droid store, you said, right?
Yes.
What are there any droids? If you can look on the folder under Xavix, the ID 10 that I have there is
there are you can so
we've
got
droid.
Stats for the ID 9 instead. If I can interest you in one of those, good sir, it's just one generation previous. You know, they're the ones from Rebels instead of the ones from
Battlefront.
Battlefront, yeah. So they're about like a 10-year younger model.
Oh yeah, it's the same little guy.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it costs 4,500 credits and is restricted rarity 7. So you have to roll a Streetwise check, and it's a hard check so Streetwise against 3 purples, and if you succeed, they have one, and it's available for purchase.
And then also, I forgot to activate my my good investments. I should get I think let me see. Go back
200.
To,
Everybody's gonna get vertigo because I just moved the entire background of my shot when I went over and checked that book. But
you're like the one Jedi in the galaxy who doesn't need to use mind tricks when negotiating like bartering deals because you have every other like bartering skill set.
He never took mind trick. He just like actually went to business school.
Yeah, exactly.
You said 4,500.
It's 4,500 is the cost. Yes. If you get advantages, it'll modify that. You did not succeed.
Yeah, definitely not.
And when you start asking about it, because of all the threat, the guy's going to actually ask you to leave the store. He's going to go, "What are you kidding? I wouldn't sell something like that with the Imperial Remnant occupying the casino. Are you daft? Get out of here, punk."
Fair enough. I put my hands up and walk outside.
Worram is gonna try and charm the guy and be like, he didn't realize what he was asking for. You know, just he's new in town, a bit of a break.
This guy's like, kick rocks.
Are you gonna make
Jedi.
any purchases, Worram?
But just talking shop while.
Okay.
I don't know if Stomper was planning on.
Yeah, Stomper is wandering around the shop right now, taking a look at various things. He's looking for some sort of like a cybernetic, like a wrist rocket you'd find on like a battle droid kind of thing.
Yeah, he's looking for that rocket implant. So go ahead and give me a check too, to see if he does find one. You know what I mean? It's going to be that same 4 purple Streetwise check.
Do you want Worram to help and do this?
That might be
Worram
nice.
can roll for you instead. Yeah.
All right,
Like,
so
what,
in that case,
what are you
Gonk,
looking for?
Stomper relays to Worm in a series of gonks, kind of.
Stomper's looking around, and Worm goes, "What are you looking for, boy?" Stomper goes, "Gonk, gonk, 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 gonk." Worm goes, "Okay, a rocket?"
Worram
You
kind
really
of
are a
like,
Zeus droid, aren't you? And then he starts
Worram
poking
kinda,
around.
looks at him, he's like, "I want you to know that I'm morally opposed to this, but I'll give it a shot." Just for protection, right?
Yeah, exactly. Your concerns are gonk-knowledged.
It's 4 purple again, but you're going to get a boost because you know your way around the shop pretty well.
Is there any sort of advantage based off the fact that like this is an order for the marshal of the town?
He's getting a boost from the fact that he's known here at the shop.
Okay.
He's already getting a boost there for that. And he can get a boost from Stomper assisting him as well, going gonk, gonk, gonk,
Yes,
gonk,
Stomper
gonk,
definitely
gonk,
gives
gonk.
him a boost.
It was terrible. Gonk, 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 gonk.
Alright, so 2 boosts.
Mm-hmm. All right, so he goes, "Yeah, I got one. I mean, it's going to be pricey though, you know. Weapons upgrades, they usually are. You don't have enough in your coffers, Stomper. Zeef Bank would be, is not deep enough to afford it. Stomper considers the price tag and gives a disappointed gonk at the news.
But files away the information that it's here.
Oh yes, it is here.
Like
absolutely.
You're like Chopper finding that leg.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I was channeling.
I mean, if you're going to try to steal it, you might want to get a stealth package upgrade first.
I don't think
Stomper can grab something and run.
Hey, you get him some plus agility legs and
so,
move.
Oh Jesus.
But yeah, so maybe they got into a little bit of a discount.
Gonking on some B2 legs instead.
But
yeah, you do have some advantage. So if you were making a purchase, you know what I mean?
So,
like, file that away. You'll have a
so
blue sometime later here if you want to, you know?
What was the difference in the price but for the micro rocket to the thing?
500.
500. So we're talking 4,500 probably for this version.
Or no, I'm sorry, it's plus 300. It was plus 300.
Okay, so 4,300.
Plus 3 cents,
So maybe you got
4,300.
it for four even.
You
How
can
about
do,
that?
you can do it for 400. He's like, yeah.
So Worram kind of says, "Well, we're a little short of that, but I know Stomper would really appreciate if you could just maybe keep it in the back, and hopefully
The advantage are worth
we
that. He
can,
goes, absolutely.
Did you say
come back
400 or
and see you again.
4,000?
4,000.
4,000.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
goes,
Did
of
I
course.
say 400? Yeah.
We-
Because this is an internally so nothing is visible from the outside. It just pops out. And
Exactly. It's
like,
a hidden compartment.
Yeah.
Like R2's arms,
000.
you know?
Or
Yep.
like a 000 kind of thing. If you
Totally.
or
Yeah, the way his shit comes out of the wrists.
0, I forget whatever. his name
000 is the protocol droid. BT1 is the astromech.
BT1. That's right. So yeah, like that kind of thing.
Totally. Yeah, it's a
The
stealth weapon.
The shopkeep goes, of course I'll set it aside. We got to take care of Stomper. I take care of all my droids. There's a chorus of gonks from the power droids against the wall. The disassembled protocol droids stand mute in response.
I don't know. Do you think that assuaged him to Xavix's preference, or do you want to check to do that? There's only 2 advantages, so I know
The
it's
2
not-
advantage, he's setting the item aside for you guys, was what I was going to use. I mean,
That's
for
fine.
threat, he was like, get out of here,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Don't
All right.
don't
So
even
I'd also
talk
like
like
to-
that. He's afraid that the ISB is going to crash through the door, you know, any minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'd also like to do a charm then to try and get him, just let him know that
Back on
Xavix
side?
is new in town. He didn't know what he was asking. We were good friends, kind of thing. Just
It's going to be a hard
Water
check
under
that
the
you're going to
bridge.
get without the advantage because they've already been spent because, as I said, you're like a known customer with,
Nice.
you know, like Stomper was bought here.
Mhm.
You know, until you came along, he was tuned up here and cared for here. And, like, Zeus had the droid for a while and keeps it in good repair. Like, the guy likes that. No, you take a strain from, you know, just the stress of the fact that you're always smoothing over people's road bumps. But you succeed, and he goes, I understand. I mean, he's pretty bold to wear that armor like that, that's for sure. You sure you know what you've gotten yourself into, Worram?
Worram just kind of he shakes his hand and just kind of sighs and shakes it at the same time, and then kind of strolls out out of the store, following Xavix, and kind of gives Stomper a little call, let him know that.
Sure.
Does a Ithorian kind of like bellow, like, come on, we're heading out, sort of thing.
Stomper gonks.
Waddles along behind him.
Just like
Stomper,
those like hooting noises that they make or whatever,
like a bleat.
Stomper gonks a farewell to the power droids lined up against the wall, and their responses follow him out the door, where N4 is waiting and says, "You're so popular, Stomper. I had no idea." Xavix, what are you looking to get?
Oh, yeah, gonk.
Yeah, I've got a couple things. Let's see.
Absolutely.
I need to get some gear. And
What kind of
I'm going to
gear are
roll
you
to see if I
looking
can
for?
find a Jedi utility belt.
Difficult. Definitely the kind of thing he could just get in Season 2, but I like the idea that he's rolling for it now.
I just
What
wanna
is
see
the
if I can find
rarity
it.
of the Jedi utility belt?
Yeah, I'm waiting till season 2 for that shit.
Yeah. What is the rarity of said utility belt, sir?
9.
Okay, well, it's a +2, so it's a 10, which means you're rolling against 5 purple dice, and you're rolling a streetwise check because it's a restricted item. Xavix, you take 3 strain as you go looking around the pawn shop, trying to find or piece together, the components of a Jedi's utility belt with all of the accoutrement thereof, but you're unsuccessful.
Okay. All right,
this
then I
frustrates you,
need
and you
to
take
find
3 strain.
then I need to find the bags or the little pockets that I can do for my current utility belt. Or
They are very low rarity, and I'm not going to worry about making you roll for them.
then I would actually like to switch it up. Can I find this one's a rarity 0, but it's the Rim Excursions Inc. military belt pouch. Can hold 2
That's
items
the
that have
pouch.
encumbered 0. Yeah, so I got to find those.
That's the thing. So they're a 0, they become a 2, which means you're rolling against 1 purple die in negotiation check to find them. And so you're successful. They're a set of pouches that are attached via very powerful magnets to either your belt or armor or the outside of your clothes or a pack. Basically, they take up 0 hard points, so you can slap them onto things without them taking up hard point slots, which is why you can wear them on, like, your belt, which doesn't even have hard point kind of thing. So,
okay. And then
at the gear shop in town, they've got a bunch of them in black, green, and gray.
Where?
It's at the gear shop in town. It's sort of like a military surplus item.
Okay. Gear?
And they had to have it in black and what other colors?
Gray, black.
Yes, I'll go with black.
All right. There are enough that you could buy a couple of them if you want to. They're pretty cheap.
How many?
Yeah, they're only 10 credits. So how many are you getting?
If I could get 10,
you would look absurd like an anime character.
It's not just for me though. I'd be handing this off to Narset when she got there. I'm also giving Narset the stim packs too.
Okay.
That's why I got 10.
Stim packs don't work on Narset.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, I was like,
she's not out here shopping.
No,
so
that is
making
true.
sure she gets stuff too.
Okay, 10 is a lot.
I got nuns
if I had
money.
a D6, I would roll it right now. You can buy 8.
I'll buy all 8.
Okay. 80 credits later. Anything else you're looking for?
There's a Jedi toolkit for my lightsaber. So the only way I can work on it is if I have one of these things.
You can repair it with normal tools instead. It's just not.
It's literally just like a box. It's like a bicycle repair kit, but of Jedi shit.
Oh, so I don't need that to work on it?
Yeah, exactly.
All those
you just get a bonus.
You get an automatic advantage when you use that specific kit, but you don't need.
You buy the Jedi utility belt, doesn't it automatically come with that? Is that part of the perk?
Yes, that's one of the perks of it.
Yeah, it's one of the perks of it, but I couldn't find that.
Integral items in it.
I was waiting till season 2.
That's why it's a 1,000 credit belt, because it's got an 800 credit Jedi,
stuff in it.
Right.
multi-tool in it. Exactly. Plus another 200 credits worth of all the stuff in the belt is worth 1,000 credit. But that Jedi multi-tool is like 800 of them out of the box. So if you want to look for that, you can. What's the rarity of that?
Oh, that was a 9.
So it'll be an 11, so it's going to be 5, and I assume it's restricted, so it's going to be a streetwise check instead of a negotiation check.
Yup.
So maybe you didn't find the belt, but you do find...
No way.
So you don't find the belt, and you take 2 more strain in your frustration, but then, as you're ready to walk away, you do find, in a bin of discarded flanges and not even tools, a small pocket knife tool with a small set of wings and a star in the middle, which is the ancient symbol of the Jedi Order. You're quick to take it up in your hands. It costs whatever the cost is. You've taken 2 more strain for, the stress of searching through this whole pawn shop. But right as you're about to leave, there it is.
Oh, wow. Made it in time. All right.
Nice.
I think it's 700.
Yeah, so there you go. He goes, penknife is what the guy thinks it is.
Pen
a
knife.
nice looking penknife you found there.
Well, wait, how much is a penknife then?
Well, no, it's just it's.
Say shit. Just
goes,
be like,
it's all
yeah, it's a
inlaid
pen.
and
Just
stuff,
buy it. Just fucking buy it.
It's still got the cost on it. Just
Okay.
he just doesn't realize it is what it is. Is what I'm saying.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I'll take that with. Okay. And then the last couple are going to be some stun grenades, but I think we don't get them here.
No, you would get them over at the weapons shop, and you don't have to roll for a standard kind of munition like that. The guy keeps a couple of grenades stashed behind the counter because he knows Zeef has that grenade launcher, and if the marshal has a grenade launcher, he's going to need to buy grenades from time to time. So he keeps a selection of frag, stun, and those glop grenades that Zeef seems to prefer available. Otherwise, you're going to have to roll to find anything beyond those.
I'll take 5 each.
He goes, I got to keep some of these on stock for the era, if you understand.
Okay, I'll take 2 stun, 2 frag, and 2 of the sticky ones. Or 3 each. We'll do 3 each.
Yeah, that's a good number.
Go with the sickies.
Go ahead and make a hard negotiation check.
Okay.
He's more comfortable with just selling you a pair each. He goes, trouble in town. Not trying to cause any more of it, you understand. Like, he takes in the fact that you're armored and all this, you know. He doesn't know you, and the sheriff's house just blew up last
What's the
night.
difficulty?
He hasn't seen you with Zeef yet. But you are the same guy. It's hard, but
Worram there?
you're going to get a boost because if you... Have you followed him over to the pawn shop and back
no,
to
he
the
would have
gun
gotten there
store?
before me, I guess, right?
Right. Well, now he's come back to the gun store. So you saw Xavix go in. Are you going to follow him into the weapons
I
shop?
go in. It's like kind of, distasteful to be in this kind of a store, but he's,
he looks up. He looks and he goes, "Hello, Worram. Everything all right? Heard there was trouble."
That's unfortunately why we're here.
You know this fellow?
Yes, he's a client.
He says, "Client of mine too. He was in twice yesterday. You should have told me you knew the marshal." He puts 3 of each of the grenades up on the counter without you having to make your check, Xavix.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm not sure what the... I yanked on my headphone cord there. And the whole world went topsy-turvy. I don't know what the total cost is off the top
It's
of
3 frag, 3 stun, and 3...
And 3
pop.
goop. Yes.
Okay.
He says, "You're loaded up for bear, youngster. No weapon, though. Do you need a pistol, a rifle?"
We've already got that on our own. I just needed to carry some of these stun grenades and sticky grenades to help us out. More defensive than offensive.
He furrows his brow at the fact that you're going around armored and thus inviting battle, but
with a bag
apparently
full of
unarmed.
grenades.
He goes, "All right, son. I always prefer to be able to shoot back if I'm getting into a fight, you know."
Well, what would you suggest for Blaster?
He gestures around. He's got a variety of, sort of basic, generic blaster weapon pistols of varying magnitudes, from a holdout up to a heavy blaster pistol. Anything of a name brand variety, you're going to have to make a check to find. He goes, "I prefer carbon myself, but the eyes aren't as good as they used to, so anything with longer range than that's no good anyway. I don't know, lad. I mean, you look comfortable enough in the armor. What kind of weapon do you favor?"
I don't favor a weapon at all.
He looks baffled by this and says, "All right, well, I suppose it's just the grenades then. Mister doesn't prefer his weapons."
Keep your secrets then.
Yeah, exactly.
All
right,
right,
so you're able to gear up in town.
That's good for me. Does Stomper want anything?
Well, he doesn't have a rocket.
Stomper's got his
implant to
eyes.
put
He's got
rockets
his eyes on
into,
those
but-
rockets. Could I buy the implant here? I suppose the gear shop might have one, or would that have been a droid?
I mean,
a droid
the
shop
cost
thing?
would be
Found
the
it.
same.
We found the implant, yeah. So
Oh,
we already found
we
it.
did find it. Okay, yeah, that's right.
But we just
Yeah,
can't
you
afford
would-
it. Yeah.
You would have to buy the rockets here. You could roll to see if he has them, and if he doesn't, you could let him know that you're trying to get some, and then it might give you a boost to buy them,
Can Stomper's
if you wait a couple
manipulator arm
days,
throw
kind of
things?
Yes, he can. So he can
Because he has
throw
an
grenades
he has an
at
elbow
range.
joint, so he can do that, right?
He has one manipulator arm, so he can make ranged light attack. Yes, which includes grenades or blaster pistols. So he could use a blaster pistol anyway, just with his manipulator on. If
Right.
Stomper can, if
Yeah.
Chopper can do it,
Yeah, the
Stomper.
big thing would be that it wouldn't be hidden. Like, there would be no way to conceal.
He would have to pop it out and then throw it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
when the arm came out with the grenade, it would be a tell.
What about just like a Blastech DL19C blaster pistol?
Is that a specific
That is a ranged
model
light.
that has stats?
Yes, it's a ranged light.
What's the rarity?
Let me see which column is which here.
That's the real. It's the
Oh, I see it. Rarity.
last one with a number in it and no tech.
It is a 4.
Okay, so
Rarity
it's going to be a negotiation roll of 6 that Worram would get as Stomper goes. Meh, 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 meh. You want a DL? What was it?
It is a. I just lost the line. DL19C. Not a DLT19, which is the long, heavy repeater.
Yeah.
DL19C is just a little hold-up blaster.
Okay,
It's 3 purple for that.
it will be 6, so it is 3 purple. Yes.
Gonna give him a boost.
You can jury rig this weapon twice when you jury rig it. The special thing about this. And he goes,
Oh.
He goes, a little. So Gonker starts gonking, and before Worram even goes to translate, the gun store owner leans over his counter and goes, "A pistol, little fellow, eh? Always impressed by a droid that tries to get into the action." He goes, "We've got some holdouts." He rummages, heads back into the back room, and comes out and says, "Blast tech, you said?" Stomper gonks an affirmative, and a few moments later, the gun store owner comes forward with the weapon in question. That's how it works. You make the roll with seeds. He has it. Shopping in the game. He goes, "That'll be a pretty penny, little droid." Stomper gonks up and swipes your credit stick with his manipulator arm.
Sweet.
Zeef. And the weapon is turned over. He takes it in his manipulator and withdraws it into the cavity of his body. The arm comes out, taps a little salute, and then disappears into its slot. That'll be added to his encumbrance.
Okay. Which is currently at 0
The
of 6.
encumbrance of the pistol is 1.
So 1 of 6.
Yeah.
Awesome.
1 of 6, exactly. I'll put
Meanwhile,
all the stats for that onto his sheet.
Across town at the expat club, Zeef sits up on the couch all of a sudden, realizing that the droid is probably out there spending his credits again.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Is that at cost, Lurch?
It's $450.
No, I
Xavix.
was saying, was there anything for the Triumph or anything?
Oh,
Sale or anything on him?
Sure, he was impressed. It'll be $350 instead. It's fine. Are we done with the shopping? Are we going to come back to?
I personally don't have anything else to buy.
I'm good with the shopping.
I just
You're done
needed
or
some
not done?
comm links and stuff, but that's all basic that we could just say.
Okay, so we're not finished.
You wanted to buy another
I'm
tracker because
saying-
you lost your tracker during the fight too, right?
Well, I modified my comm link to track.
Right,
so
so
I need
Worram still
Either way,
needs
you're
to
out
buy
of
some
combo.
sundries. David, thumbs up. Done. All right. So after
Stomper straight up has an arm. Did I hear that?
Stomper
correctly?
has always had a little arm.
He has a little
It's
manipulator
not like
arm
a
that
like,
comes
beefy
out.
arm, but he's got.
It can come out R2D2 style, just panel and then.
Yeah, he's got a manipulator arm.
Only now
He
it's going to
doesn't
come out
have,
holding
like,
a fucking gat.
a full arm. You could.
So he didn't get the rocket launcher, but he got a hand that's able to hold a pistol.
He already had the hand. He just got a pistol for it.
He's programmed to hold it sideways.
Gonker is now strapped, concealed carry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Worram, you and Stomper exit the weapons shop with Xavix. You've got a few items left to get, so you head across town to Gaz's.
Yeah, so walk into Gaz's gear, greet her, I assume, or him. What's the shopkeeper? Or...
Yeah. So Gaz is a Aqualesh woman who has a shop down here by the docks. There is a whole wall with like racks like for billiards cues with vibro spears and spear rifles along one wall. There are a variety of different cold weather coats and ponchos hanging from hangers along another, and there are shelves with all manner of fishing and outdoor gear, the sort of thing that the men who work out at the dock need to replace as they wear out, or, for heading out on a voyage. Most of what you need, you could find here.
Yeah, so Worram kind of browses the shelves and, so he picks out a cold weather duster to wear over his, I can't think,
It's like mechanics coveralls you're wearing?
Coveralls that he's wearing, with all his pouches for his gear and tools. A nice brown leather duster. It's been, he's had a few too many experiences to, that open-aired skiff. He's looking for something a little, and so he finds that, He also locates some binders and some heavier duty magna cuffs, which Zeef had a pair of earlier. We tossed the guy out the back of the speeder wearing.
We did lose this, yeah.
Would definitely have come in handy on that massive quarren that.
Yeah, he might not have snapped the magna cuff as easily as he did the binders.
On the simpler binders, so picks up a few let's say 4 pairs of binders, and the magna cuffs are actually having a 2-for-1 sale, so he grabs 2 pairs of those.
Sweet.
And then just in the general electronics, finds a new comlink for himself, and also a personal transponder in case they need to track somebody again in the future. So that'll do it for shopping, I think.
You bring this all over to Gaz, and she rings you up, expressing concern for the trouble she heard went down in town last night.
Well, Gaz, that's what the binders are for. Hopefully we can resolve this without any further incident in town.
She says, you tell the sheriff that if he's going to set up a posse, they can come and, well, I'll need some collateral, but I'll make sure no one's going empty-handed.
Much appreciated.
You rolled a triumph during the negotiation check earlier, so I want to pay that out for you guys. Worram slips on his long Nerf hide coat. This one, being set up for the cold weather, is still suede on the inside, providing warmth, and has a bit of fur just at the collar and the cuff, which feels just great here as he steps back out into the cold. That's all the shopping that's needed to be done. So Xavix picks you up in the speeder, and you head back up towards the X-Pac Club. You see that the stormtroopers have finished their calisthenics during your 2 hours out at the shops, and have all vanished. You see their footprints leading off into one of the outbuildings of the compound. The officers have also gone back inside somewhere by the time you return.
Worram follows Xavix back up to the suite, I assume.
You wanted to return, right, Xavix, before we cut away? Is there anything you need to do here?
No,
now that we return back to the Silverstar. All right, you just wanted to make sure that you guys were all home based before the camera moves away. Excellent.
Kind of divide up the gear too for those that we.
Yeah.
And so Four's probably jazzed about the crazy adventure she had today.
Yeah, N4 hangs out down with the girls on the main level, which is still absent of Imperials as you return inside. They're gone from the courtyard, but they haven't returned into the bar either. N4 stays downstairs to chat with some of the other Betty droids as you head upstairs. Stomper gonks happily into the smoking room to find Zeef and show off his new pistol. And we leave you there in the Silverstar suite. Just briefly, before the end of the session, we return with the camera to the far side of the island, as time is now caught up, and we are approaching midday for both yourselves and Narset Jinn, who is still standing in the longhouse of the tribal Sauvax village on the far side of the island, with the thin Sauvax leaning down in her face. And that's where we leave. We'll return to Narset in 2 weeks' time, after the Thanksgiving break. We're going to do XP sometime in the future, because doing it even just for gameplay time each session has been racing you guys through it. The math says that the system breaks down once characters get more than about 750 XP, and you guys are halfway there, and we're not even halfway through the first of 3 seasons of this campaign. So
Season 3, it's gonna be like I pick up a moon and throw it at him.
Right, exactly. Like by the time we get to season 2, we're not trying to get there yet. You know what I mean? But we will, and I don't plan on stopping you guys from hitting like 1,000 XP by the end of
let's just get stupid.
But not yet. We're already at like where you should be by the end of the season because you guys had heroic starts.